November 1st, 2024, ChatGPT Search is launched and unleashed on the world. If you haven't started seeing ChatGPT.com as a referral source in your analytics, then your website is likely not receiving any traffic from ChatGPT, also known as voice search or AI assisted search. So this is very interesting. In this video, I'm going to go over a couple high level ideas. In a future video, we can do some tutorials and some more technical audits and reviews and how you can apply this and be found on ChatGPT Search. But what we've been seeing on a lot of different platforms or marketplaces that uses AI, the organic search results are suffering in a way, because what's happening is organic search used to be based off of a lot of different criteria, thousands of different ranking factors, and we know there's only several that really matter, such as trust and your authority and your social proof. Those are all very important. Now, if you're getting traffic from ChatGPT Search, just like Zima Media is, and some of our clients are already, and we have proper conversion tracking installed so we can see where they're coming from. So how do you get recommended by ChatGPT? How can you leverage that platform to be a new profit center for your business? So it's pretty obvious that ChatGPT Search is going to take off. So what is ChatGPT Search? Well, OpenAI crawled the internet and they plugged everything into the database. They put a bunch of computers together, and voila, you have ChatGPT that's trained on literal internet garbage. But a lot of the time, if you're talking about different topics, and authoritative sites do have some great content, so ChatGPT can build really good understandings about certain subjects. So what it's doing is it's mostly powered by Bing right now. Bing, surprisingly enough, is leading in terms of AI integration with search. Gemini is, that uncle you just don't talk about anymore. It really can't really do anything. As Gemini in a Google Sheet to make columns or something elaborate, it's just going to be like, can't do it, man. But if you work with ChatGPT and you tell it to give you a table, it will. So Bing is really the machine behind this. It's the arm, it's the robot, it's the spider that's crawling the internet. And when you're asking contextual answers to ChatGPT, Google yourself on ChatGPT, or GPT yourself, or Jeep. They really need to work on the branding. It kind of Google. I was in fourth grade, and Google's the biggest number ever, and then the company happened, and that was pretty cool, right? It's such a it's so impactful for a brand that it ends up in a dictionary. GPT chat. I don't know. I've just used ChatGPT to look up what ChatGPT means instead of use a dictionary, right? So it's going to be the arm of ChatGPT. It's going to crawl the sites and it's going to help you rank and achieve better impressions. So what's happening now is ChatGPT is including sources. So this is going to be the search results. So instead of a search result page, you're going to have a little chat with a couple of links to different sources. You can have linked mentions and unlinked mentions, and both I think are very important. If you're a big internationally recognized brand, you don't always need a link because people can find you or type in the website. They have that sort of brand recognition. But if you're just a regular business, like a small to medium sized business like Zima Media or some of our customers, that link mention is really important because it drives traffic. So if you're getting traffic from ChatGPT and it's going to be a new organic search, important to optimize for it. Everyone's talking about ChatGPT Search, but nobody's talking about ChatGPT SEO, search engine optimization for ChatGPT. So how do you do it? Okay, how do you do it? It's the same conversation I have with any SEO client over the last 25 years. It's even more true the last 10 years since EAT came out. You really had to do much of the same. You had to focus on your expertise, your authority, your trustworthiness, and really put in the time to make good content. It's not about having multiple pieces of communication. It's about having finer, siloed, whether it's short or long form content, as long as it addresses the subject and fulfills the user intent, you're going to get good traffic. So this is how Google would send traffic to your website, and has worked very well for our clients with our SEO strategy. So you're producing that content, you're getting the traffic. Now, all of a sudden, in the last 90 days, I would say a lot of clients have experienced drops in keywords. You're not getting that click-through rate anymore, because in some instances, even Gemini is recommending different topics and it's using unlinked mentions, right? You can be getting a ton of unlinked mentions on search engines these days when they're using assisted AI search. But ChatGPT is driving some traffic because it is helping it expose itself, right? Because the geek like me sees a little ChatGPT as the referral and go like, oh, wow, there's a search engine, and it helps the industry really align that search, because ChatGPT actually went down. It was like a novelty. Only a few people really use it for work, but it is an efficient tool. It helps maximize your effort. It really makes you go 2010%, right? It's not like 110%, it's like 2010% if you're using it in your field. We've been optimizing sites, and it comes down to a couple variables. I think I mentioned content's number one. Number two, it's really going to be your structured data. So the thing you have to understand about large language models and the internet, the internet's petabytes large, right? It's huge. It's like an astronomical number, right? It's like a huge hard drive. And now ChatGPT and all these AI companies are making a copy of that, or people are paying an API for ChatGPT to make a copy of their copy. So that data is a really huge infrastructure. What we've always been telling our SEO clients is you want to maximize your technical infrastructure. And what that means is the easier it is for a search engine robot to crawl your website, the quicker it's going to index it. So if you're being efficient on their resources, then they're going to crawl your site more often, so you're not utilizing too many of their resources. Because if your site hangs up their resources, or it gets stuck, or it doesn't like something, you're going to lose traffic. Trust me, we had a CDN, we lost traffic. Little technical things, you forget to flip a switch, can nuke your SEO. That's a great lesson, that you can't put all of your eggs in the basket, because once the SEO traffic is gone, what's left ads. So where I'm going with that ramble is, you're being efficient on your website, and you're using really something created by Google, which is probably what's going to unravel Google, is JSON, right? JSON schema. Schema is a markup language that was created with Google and a couple of other smart people to basically annotate data, right? This is basically the citations, but for robots, okay? So you take all that data. When you go into a search engine, you see those 5-star reviews, you see those flights pop out, you see those hospitalities, you see those FAQ boxes. All that information that lives on your website is transferred over to Google search engine results. And that's how you're getting those unlinked mentions, right? There was a big controversy when Google started doing like the suggestion boxes or the FAQ boxes, or, other searches such as, because it led to a lot of unlinked mentions. It's great to come up for those keywords, but it's an unlinked mention. Unless they really see that your website is underneath the search result from the data that it's plugging from your website straight into search, you might not get that click. JSON schema is efficient because you're putting all the most important contextual information that a human and a robot needs to utilize. And this data is also going to be absorbed by search engines all over the place. We've been optimizing for content. We've been making sure your JSON schema matches for the page, because you can have service schema, you can have person schema. So anytime somebody Googles you, you get all of your social, you get those suggestion boxes, those knowledge panels are all important for your SEO. But this is a step further. You have good content on your website. You have started structurally understanding how you want to present your data to the World Wide Web. FAQs are very important. So if you have a lot of expertise in your industry, it's important to have an FAQ page, because those FAQ page therefore can be translated as a source for these AIs. And this is how you make that connection. Because if they have to use all of their energy to crawl your website and get that information out, it's going to take a lot longer. And they do. They do look at all of the user experience, the technical things. That's how search engines work. But in terms of an AI, they don't care about the data. If you're getting your JSON schema into your web page, then the AI, the first thing it's going to do, you have the search engine robot looking at all the goodies. The AI is like, yup, I'm going to take that data, I'm going to absorb it, and I'm going to put it in. The less friction you create with your website to get that data into AI is going to be very, very, very useful. So, of course, backlinks, social signals, all those other things are eventually going to come into play. But I think the easiest ranking signal right now is whoever has clean data structures on their website. That's going to be like the first win, right? That's like you putting in keywords into your meta keyword tab 20 years ago when Google came out, and you put in infinity keywords and you get a lot of traffic. Well, that's the opportunity. You can start getting a lot of good traffic, making sure your existing content is optimized for JSON. You ever remember doing MLA format in citations in college? I don't, but you can think of it like that. It's a system, it's a method. You just have to apply it to your content, and it's a technical system that any sort of robot, machine, or computer can translate into usable data. That's really it. I think those 2 points, good content and JSON schema, are going to help us compete in a lot of topics. And what's really interesting is some of our articles that were doing better on Google, they were picked up a while ago. They kind of dropped off, and now they're getting picked up by GPT. It's interesting. Maybe the algorithm is a little bit more direct. It has less of these variables, less of these testing parameters that they're utilizing. But this could be a good boon for your business because you're going to start receiving more traffic. And that's what it was like in the beginning of SEO. You would get so much traffic. And if you are prepared with good content, good communication, good services, good explanation of your USP, then you're going to start really getting some more traffic from GPT. So why is this important? Why do you care about SEO? Well, I don't care about the SEO aspect of it, is because you're building your trust with GPT right now. And very soon, probably in a couple of months, we're going to see GPT Ads, where those unlinked mentions could turn into a linked mention. And you can define your criteria and your search criteria less about the person's demographics and more about their approach, right? What's their intents? And you can actually start inserting your ads in those different intent buckets that happen before the sale. Because everything we would do with ads, it's top of funnel, branding and awareness, and you just drill down as much as you can, and ultimately the customer is going to make that choice of the best information available. Now we have the inverse. You turn it all on its head, and the customer has the best available information at their disposal at a keystroke. So this is a huge play, and I would say that your SEO, a third of your SEO, is going to be coming from GPT very soon. Customers just have to be made aware of it. So GPT is a great opportunity for small businesses to capture new customers as it gets more refined, more dialed in, and it allows more parameters for you to really just get one-on-one with some of your customers. It's going to present you early on in the funnel. It's a great advantage. It's going to lead to a lot of growth, so don't miss out on this. One of the things you need to take away from this video is GPT is going to be huge for small business, and Google Analytics 4 is not going to be enough to measure it. Google Analytics 4 underreports about 40%, if not more, of website traffic. So you're going to need a tool in position in order to capture that, because one of the things you can do as a marketer is fail to recognize the best opportunity and not invest in that opportunity early enough to capture the most value and the most leads and sales. So those are the key takeaways I can offer you based off of what we see with GPT right now. It's a data machine, so you want to feed it with data, and you can reap the benefit right away. GPT is blowing up right now. Make sure you're writing original content, and make sure you're measuring that with comprehensive tools that tells you what works and what doesn't work, because we don't have a dashboard yet for websites. Hopefully soon, in the next year or so, we'll probably see a dashboard for you to optimize your website and curate your content and maybe prioritize some of the best content. But for now, we're in this new frontier of AI generated suggestions, and it's only going to get wilder from here.